and D'Entremont.
For Golden West is JaVale Valley under center, or he is the center. It's D'Entremont in the shotgun. And that's something they're going to need to shore up, and shore up quickly. They spread them out. Will the Tigers pin their ears back? Here comes a free man. D'Entremont evades one man. He won't evade the rest of the Tiger defensive front. As he goes down, he is sacked. They'll give him forward progress back to the 31. But the Rustlers are going to have to come on and punt.
Spencer Zuniga picks up the sack, gets an assist from Brown, who was the first one to come free.
And D'Entremont's so adept at extending plays with his feet in the first half. We've seen him a couple times now here in the second, unable to get away from that second and third defender.
Last week, the Tigers allowed 24 points in the first half to Mount Sac. They allowed just 6 in the second half. And this looks like a similar dynamic here, where they've made some great adjustments defensively at the half, and it's a completely different game.
Biggers here, runs into his own man, and he's going to go nowhere. It was Biggers running into Bryce Smith on the return. And he will have it at the 27-yard line, will the Tigers. 10:50 remaining, and now it becomes an issue of trying to kill some clock with that potent run game.
For those that might be wondering, we did learn that Sam Boyd is unavailable tonight. He's in street clothes on the sideline, and we don't know what the specific background of that is, but there's a weapon lost to the Tigers, but so far they've managed to carve out a 7-point lead here.
And looking to pad that right now, pistol formation. Howard keeps it himself, going to go on the right side, cuts it back, past the 30, up ahead to the 31. That's a good play there by Howard, reading the defense. Picks up 4. 2nd and 6 coming up. 10.5 to go here in the Southern California Bowl. The second leg of our doubleheader earlier today was Mount Sac emphatically over Ventura. Howard fakes to the outside. He's going to fall forward near first down yardage. They needed the 37. It looks like he's going to be just short.
Mike, I really like Skylar Howard, and it's obvious when you take a look at him that he's a guy who has the potential to continue his career past Riverside here. Last week, I recall him throwing a couple of pretty good deep balls. He found Boyd on a 30-yard touchdown for the game winner. But I haven't seen a lot of him throwing the deep ball, but that might be the only question I really have left about Skylar Howard. Love how he manages the game.
We've seen the
Takes
short.
care of the football.
That's a good point. You see the short and intermediate throws on point. Inside handoff, this is Yarbrough. Yarbrough trying to keep those legs churning. He's going to be stuffed a yard behind the line of scrimmage on 3rd and 1, and that'll bring out 4th down and presumably the punting unit.
Anthony McNichols in the hole. Turns back Yarbrough, and that's not easy to do.
He said, I don't think so, Sir Darius. I see you, buddy. So now Hayes back to receive the kick. Kick is low. Hayes calls for a fair catch at the 35. So the Rustlers will try to inch closer here. 8:56 remaining in the ball game. They trail it by a touchdown.
Maybe if Yarbrough got a note from every offensive lineman.
And said it was okay to pick up a first down, then it'd be okay.
I couldn't help it.
It's all right. I knew exactly where you were going with it before you even went there. Little at the bottom of your screen, Sanchez at the top. They're setting up the wide receiver screen. Kyrell Brown, rather, drops the pass.
And this is something that we've seen earlier today in our first game, and now here a couple times too. It's getting to be of epidemic proportion. That's Brown just taking his eye off the ball to look up and see where he's going to run.
Well, he had an array of blockers at his disposal, but now it sets up 2nd and 10. They go to the split back set. Man in motion is Hayes. Looking for Hayes. No, they're going to go to Little. Little the big target, 6'4", sophomore out of Mater Dei, or the freshman rather, 6'4", 210. I mean, that's a pretty big freshman there, Jeff. And, you know, he played
pretty big for any age.
He played in a big-time high school program. Mater Dei, one of the perennial powers in the nation at the high school level.
More manageable third down now.
Takes the ball up to the 42. That'll set up third and three rather. Coming up on the 8-minute mark now. Bunch formation at the top. Little, Sanchez, and Kyrell Brown. They go one-on-one on the outside. D'Entremont loses his footing, has a man over the middle. It's caught. Dylan Hall
takes a big hit from Kalunga, but holds on.
Dylan Hall, he was huge in the first half. A big target for D'Entremont. Chris D'Entremont extends that plays there, nearly loses his footing, and instead picks up a huge first down all the way to the 33-yard line of the Tigers.
Mike, I want to tell you what really impressed me about that play from Dylan Hall, and that is he knew he was going to take a hit from Kalunga there and still brought that ball down and held on.
Kalunga. D'Entremont has some time, goes to Hall again on the outside, turns the corner, picks up 7.
Daniel Young on the coverage.
They'll say he picked up 6, 2nd and 4 now. And now the Rustlers pinning the Tigers back on their heels on this drive.
Mike, how many times have we said it? This is the Rustlers theme, just when you think they're out of it.
Brown in motion, they're going to set him up. He has some blockers, great block from Hall. Can Brown break what he does? Looking for the pylon, he's in! Touchdown! And now the Rustlers are an extra point away from tying this one up. Well, you saw the wheels turning there, Jeff, and it was a matter of could Riverside stop it and make it play. And instead it was Kyrell Brown breaking a tackle, chalk up 6.
And let's give Brown a lot of credit there. That time he makes the catch and then does terrific work running with the ball after the catch. And he knew the mistake he made the first time around.
Wasn't going to make it again. Extra point up. It's good. And we're tied at 17. 7:01 remaining. High drama here from Wheelock Stadium here in Riverside. Mike Cepeda, Jeff Stoynoff with the call. SoCalCollegeSports.com, your home for SCFA football coverage. Stay tuned, everybody. Jeff, we're knotted up at 17, and this is high drama as the winner of this game goes to the SCFA championship game.
It's as though the Rustlers have trouble really executing their offense until they're down 7. They get themselves down 7, and then they seem to find it.
Everything's fine. Short kick comes near side, nearly went out of bounds. Instead, they're going to take it. Somebody has daylight for RCC.
Marquise Thompson.
Thompson nearly had a seam on the sideline, goes out of bounds, but past midfield, and an opportunity here for Riverside to respond with a score of their own.
That's a nice job setting up the return and giving a little lane to Marquise Thompson.
No flags on the field. So now the Tigers will have it at the 47 in Golden West territory. Well, Jeff, I don't exactly know what the call was there. That was a designed short kick to take it out of the hands of Kenny Torrance, and instead, Thompson makes him pay. Hand off to Knight. Knight, several cuts in the hole, picks up 5.
It's a nice job dancing his way forward.
got to be impressed with the 6'2", 230-pound sophomore back out of Notre Dame here in Riverside. Man down on the field. Is that Knight?
I think I see Knight standing over to the side, but now he's blocked.
Or player injured and down on the field. Training staff is out. And they are signaling. They're signaling for a stretcher or a cart. We will take a short time out, have some more information for you when we return. Well, we have the player for you, Leo Lafayette, and Jeff. I'm no medical expert. Doesn't look like he's going to come back into the ball game. It looks like he's favoring his left leg. Could not bear any weight on it. Had to be carried off the field. Now it's 2nd and 6 after the play. 4-yard pickup. Howard in the pistol. Knight behind him. He hands out to Knight. Knight looking for the edge. He can't get around it. That is terrific pursuit on the far side.
It's a great job by McNichols, also forcing that play outside, giving the Rustlers a little more time.
And Nate Simon there on the tackle. In addition to Eddie Favors. 3rd and 3 now for the Tigers.
This is a huge play for the Rustlers.
Oh, it's
another
a huge
first down here, and a field goal becomes very realistic.
It's huge for both teams. The handoff again inside to Knight. Knight wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. Flag on the field, and that is terrific coverage. Carpena Olsen.
Olsen knifing in. Trips up Knight.
Well, Jeff, there's a flag on the field. This is going to be a hold. Going to be declined.
So 4th down. Now the Tigers, it becomes very risky to think about going for it here if you don't pick it up. And no, instead we're going to see the punting unit.
The punting unit comes on. Anthony Johnston. Jeff, this is the area of the field we talk about so many times. 4th and relatively short. 4th and 4. Watch for the fake. Marcus Hayes back to receive. Doesn't look like Golden West will be coming after it. Riverside going to kick it away. Beautiful kick and caught nearly down at the goal line. They're saying it's still in play at the 5. That is terrific special teams play for Riverside.
Reggie Turner.
Wow.
Able to keep that play alive. So a long way to go for the Rustlers.
Oh, credit Johnson on the kick. Wow. Placed it perfectly. Gave his man a chance, and now it's at the 4-yard line of the Rustlers. So the Rustlers have a tough task ahead of them. Have to go 96 yards for a touchdown. 5:25 remaining.
I think it go about 76 yards for a field goal. I'm sure they would take that.
Sure they would. Remember,
if they could.
Peter Marquez, 1 of 3 tonight. Is long on the season, a 52-yarder. So presumably, they need the 35. They're going deep near side. Sanchez incomplete.
They've been going after Derek Taylor, but Taylor's coverage has been very good.
Pretty solid so far. Taylor known for his ability to hit on the outside, but he covers it well. Sanchez with a touchdown in the first half, first score of the ball game for the Rustlers. Unable to come away with it there. Now it's 2nd and 10 at the 4. Little at the top. Sanchez at the bottom. Kyrell Brown. D'Entremont to his right. Looking for somebody. Looking for Sanchez again. And Taylor, terrific coverage in the secondary.
Boy, Sanchez had both hands on it, trying to tip that ball in the air.
Taylor gets a hand in there at the last second, knocks it away.
And they jaw a little bit after the play, too, getting to know each other real well out there on the outside.
I'm sure they're just discussing what they're going to have over for Thanksgiving.
The holiday coming up, so, you know, whose family's in town?
The holiday food itinerary, I'm sure that's what they were going over right there. 3rd and 10, huge play here for Golden West. Need to get out of their own territory. Defense diagnoses it well. They're right over the middle of the field. Here's Derek Taylor on the INT at the 15, looking for the edge. Takes it out of bounds.
And a late hit coming in. I don't see any flags yet, but they hit Taylor well out of bounds.
They hit Taylor while he was on the track. With no flag on the play. Either way, the Tigers are in business right now after the INT from Derek Taylor.
Well, D'Entremont really feeling the pressure to make something happen there on 3rd and long. The Rustlers have had some difficulty running the football consistently here, especially in the second half. And there he finally makes a questionable choice as he throws that one over the middle into coverage, and Taylor there able to read that ball and make the pick.
The cardinal sin of football at any level for a quarterback: do not throw late over the middle of the field. D'Entremont does it right there, and it costs his team perhaps a bid in the SCFA championship. Power I formation, false start. We're going to have early movement here from RCC.
Well, that's the kind of penalty that puts gray hairs on coach's head right there. It's 1st and goal from the 10. You have all the momentum in the world. What do? You immediately back yourself up 5 yards, and that's just about concentration.
That's exactly right there, Jeff. That's the kind of play that makes coaches stockpile just for men 5 minutes. 5 minutes just for men. Sure, you're well aware of the product. I am.
Not yet, but I've got the one that makes you lose your hair.
Pistol formation. Howard going one-on-one. He has Torrance wide open. Touchdown, Tigers.
Torrance running a little fade. It's one-on-one, and he gets the separation.
That's a beautiful play call there from Riverside. Torrance
Mike, I'll tell you, that's a great route by Torrance. He gives a little fake to the inside, then breaks it back outside. That's how he gets the separation, and a terrific throw from Skylar Howard.
And Torrance setting that play up all night. He's so quick. You have to respect his speed, especially to the inside. You don't want to give that up, but that sets up the fade. Howard delivers it beautifully. Tigers go up by 7 after the extra point is good. Under 5 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. The winner of this one goes on to the SCFA championship. We'll be back on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Apologies if I'm burying the needle. This is high drama here from Riverside as the Tigers have gone up by a touchdown late. Under 5 minutes to play, 24-17. Mike Cepeda, Jeff Stoynoff with you on the call here.
Hey, Mike, the Tigers put on a show, don't they? 2 minutes left in the game last week before they take the lead. And they like to wait till the fourth quarter.
Brown going to catch this one well deep into his end zone. He's going to take a knee. And the Rustlers will get it at their own 25. And Chris D'Entremont going to have to go back to work. It was D'Entremont on the huge interception deep in his own territory that set up the touchdown. 15-yarder to Kenny Torrance.
Well, no time to really think about it if you're D'Entremont. You got to go right back to work. 4:56 remaining in the game. And maybe that's for the best. Just head right back out there. Again, the struggle in the second half for the Rustlers, they just haven't been able to get anything reliably going on the ground. No. And it's putting a lot of pressure on D'Entremont to try and make things happen through the air and give the Tigers a lot of credit. Their secondary has responded huge. It was
D'Entremont that led the team in rushing with 30 yards in the first half. Robert Cruz with 7 yards in the first half. And a man in the seam dropping the ball. Dylan Hall had a shot to put his team in tremendous shape. Instead, getting a hand in there at the end of that play.
Daniel Young looked like he got a hand in there.
Yeah, Young and Carter in there at the end. And credit the Tigers for not giving up on that one. Dylan Hall up the seam, and nearly a huge gainer for the Rustlers.
And that's unfortunate for Golden West. That was a strike from D'Entremont right
on the money.
The hands. And Hall needs to bring that one in.
A couple times tonight, the Rustlers have had fantastic opportunities in the passing game. Nick Little dropped a sure touchdown earlier in this ball game. Brown on the outside, not much doing there.
Taylor wrapping him up. So a third and long very quickly for Golden West.
Well, Jeff, at what point does it become fourth down territory? You're deep in your own part of the field. It's 24-17, 3 timeouts, 4:25 remaining. Do you make this fourth and manageable? Are you going for 10?
I think they got to punt it here.
Riverside trying to bring the pressure. D'Entremont hit as he throws, and Brown unable to come up with that one. He would have been well short of the first down anyway.
John Taylor with the hit on D'Entremont.
And now the defense for Golden West going to have to respond in a big way. 4:12 remaining in this one. They're down by 7. And Biggers back near the 40, between the 40 and the 45-yard line of Tiger territory.
Well, if you're Golden West at this point, you punt it back to them. Riverside likely going to try and run the ball to keep the clock moving. They've had mixed success doing that here tonight. So you have to like your chances if you're Golden West. And if Riverside does put it up, that's where maybe a big play happens. Force a turnover.
Kick is away. Biggers calling for a fair catch. He's at the 43.
They'd like to have seen a little more airtime on that punt. The field position definitely favoring the Tigers. Even if they don't come up with the first down here, they're in a position where they can pin the Rustlers back deep, make them work the length of the field.
Well, Canahigh, kicker for RCC, his long on the season's 43, so you're looking for about the 25-yard line is where you need to get the ball. You don't need 6 here, although 6 would be nice. You need a touchdown to make it a 2-score game and pretty much shut out the Rustlers from coming back in this one. Easier said than done, though. The Russell defense has been fantastic most of tonight. Knight takes it around the left side, a lot of room to run, and he is tripped up. Terrific pursuit by Nate Simon.
Coming up to make the stop. And again, the Tigers starting to challenge the edges. A little more success than going up the middle, where it has been tough sledding.
Riverside in no hurry here. The clock is their ally, coming up on 3.5 minutes. The Southern California Bowl on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Happy you've joined us, everybody. Howard hands off again tonight, cuts it back left, still on his feet, past or inside the 40, or he'll fall ahead to the 41. It's a first down, Tigers.
Well, more importantly, it moves the chains, and things starting to get a little desperate for the Rustlers. Battling the clock, trailing by 7. And they're going to have to start thinking about using some timeouts.
We talked about the depth earlier in the second half. It's something that is not an attribute for Golden West. They are shorthanded, and you see him gassed. There's a hole up the middle. I can see it. Can Anthony Knight see it? No, it's closed up nicely by the Rustlers. Knight picks up 1. 2nd and 9. Golden West going to take a timeout. We will do the same. 2:44 remaining in this one. Rustlers trying to stay alive. This game is proudly brought to you by Robert Howard, Deidre Kelly and the family, and the Yarborough family. And don't forget to visit www.listyourhouseforless.com. Second and 9. Pistol formation. Howard hands off. This is Sir Darius Yarborough. Hits the edge and he has some room.
Well, Yarborough takes it out of bounds, and that is maybe the only thing he did wrong on that play.
I think he was going too fast to hold himself up.
It really was. That really was a momentum shot out of bounds.
Up ahead to the 33. It's a 6-yard gain.
He needs to dive into the turf, I think, to slow himself down.
He needs to get a knee down inside the sideline.
So he only takes 5 seconds off the clock on that play. But he is very near the first down. Well, this looks like there's going to be a flag working against Golden West. So
well,
that's going to make
it looked like
down.
There might have been a bit of a late hit on the sideline. It wasn't Yarborough that got hit, but somebody else hit the turf hard for the Tigers, and he was aided in doing so. I think the man who wanted to call, Mike Canahai, and that'll keep the clock running right now. So the clock under 2.5 minutes to play. They're within field goal range for Canahai. And they're likely just going to let the clock run down and call a timeout with 1 second left remaining on the play clock to not take them out of field goal range.
Well, I never did see what the call was.
I didn't either, but there was a call. It went against Golden West.
Well, at this point,
Coach Nick Mitchell wants an explanation. He's trying to figure out what went on the sideline.
If you're the Rustlers at this point, you're looking at needing a turnover. This game is pretty much over. It's going to take a miracle at the Meadowlands type of moment here. That's it. That's a 70s reference. Oh, wait.
That is going back, my friend.
Way back.
Hey, it's not 9 o'clock yet. You think we'll catch the main event? Go to a local Buffalo Wild Wings or something? They get a plug, of course.
That's right.
Hey,
which one are we plugging? The main event or Buffalo Wild Wings?
Either way.
Yarborough a little slow getting up.
Yeah, both Yarborough and the tackling player for Golden West. And that's Nate Simon. Simon's been fantastic all night, pursuing from the back end. And Yarborough goes down with an injury.
After 111 yards last week.
Oh, Yarborough, they're looking to him, and they're poised, are the Tigers, to move on to the SCFA championship. Jeff, we haven't seen part of that three-headed monster tonight.
Denzel Foster.
Yeah, Denzel Foster, we haven't seen him at all.
He played sparingly last week as well, so I don't know what's going on with Foster. Might be battling an injury. We sometimes have some information.
So we get word that Foster not available tonight. He's hurt. Boyd out.
Yeah, we haven't seen Foster at all tonight, so that's certainly the case. And I don't know if he injured himself last week.
Right now it's Yarborough favoring, I believe, the left leg. We'll try to have an update for you shortly.
Not to make light of this too much, but the three-headed monster down to one.
Oh gosh!
It's just your standard one-headed monster.
Well,
right
it's
now.
nice to have, you know, Jeff, and it's always nice to have that depth at running back, especially with Anthony Knight, who's been fantastic all evening. But Knight, Yarborough averages nearly 8 yards a carry on the season coming in. That's a huge blow offensively, and you know the
Foster's
Tigers
in the top 100 JUCO players to watch on ESPN. It's a crazy embarrassment of riches for the Tigers at running back, but starting to get banged up here late in the season.
Yep.
2nd and 11 with 2:04 remaining.
The Rustlers down to a single timeout now. Knight, the deep back in the pistol. They give it to Knight. He's going to go over the left side. Has some room. Looks like there might have been a hold on the outside.
And again, Knight heads out of bounds. And this is not likely to hurt the Tigers a whole lot here in this particular circumstance. But you'd like to see a little more attention to the game situation specifically from first Yarborough and now Knight. And obviously doing a great job here tonight, but maybe like to see them have that awareness, develop that awareness to maybe take a knee, get themselves down inbounds to keep that clock moving.
Under 2 minutes to play now, 3rd and 1. You need a yard to really close out the situation. Knight up ahead. He's going to be stopped short. That'll set up 4th down. Here comes the field goal unit. Yarborough being attended to by trainers on the sideline. Trying to walk it off. He's some tough sledding doing so. Now it's his right foot that they're looking at, the shoes off.
Timeout, Golden West.
So Golden West uses their final timeout, but if Kennehi can put it through here, 2-score game, 1:45 left, and the Tigers would just about
seal
have
the
this
deal.
one wrapped up.
Well, the final 4 has been shrunk to 3, and we're looking for the final pairing. Right now it's Riverside with a 7-point lead, looking to add to it.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if it is the Tigers, if they can repeat their incredible performance earlier this season of being +5 in turnovers in their matchup with Fullerton and managing to lose the game, which is almost unheard of.
Well, Fullerton right now after the game versus Canyons today looked fantastic. Presumably we weren't there. There was no video coverage, but the final score speaks volumes. Canna High.
56 on the board against that Canyons defense is remarkable.
28-yard attempt. Golden West comes after it. Kick is up, and it's good. And Jeff, I think it's about time to cue it up.
I'm ready to say it.
Well, we'll wait for the final 000. But perhaps it's the PA announcer queuing up, hit the road. Hit the road, Jack.
Well, that's what the Tigers will have to do next week themselves. They will have to travel to Fullerton. It will not be
Either way, it's very
assignment.
fitting for both teams. But the Tigers now up 10, 27-17.
Well, this one wasn't always pretty for the Tigers, but a sensational job defensively in the second half, and they were able to finally force the big turnover late in the fourth quarter to take control of this one.
And credit special teams. You know, that's a punt that is down inside the 10 at the 5-yard line. The pressure comes. Riverside pins their ears back. They force the pressure on D'Entremont. D'Entremont throws it across over the middle late. Derek Taylor on the interception, setting up the touchdown. This kick goes into the end zone. So minute 41 remaining in this one, and the Rustlers trail it by 10. They'll need something big and in a hurry. One, they need to score a touchdown, and then to recover an onside kick.
It's been a different hero. Last week, Sir Darius Yarborough, Sam Boyd, Isaac Kalunga on defense.
Yeah.
This week, it's Derek Taylor, Bryce Smith on defense, who've been outstanding. Anthony Knight in the running game. Kenny Torrance again this week. So it just speaks to the depth that the Tigers bring to the table.
D'Entremont under duress. He's going to go down. Won't go down as a sack, but it might as well.
Spencer Zuniga again among the first to get there.
Liam Colbert tonight as well. Sophomore linebacker from Chino Hills has been fantastic. Pressuring the quarterback, D'Entremont. D'Entremont pump fakes it. And again, they get to D'Entremont. The ball comes down. They're going to rule D'Entremont down.
John Taylor putting the pressure on. He's the leading sack man for this Tiger defense.
Golden West unable to stop the clock. No timeouts remaining. We're under a minute to play.
Well, I can tell you now it's 4-down territory.
I think it's safe to assume that. I think it's safe to say that, sir. Is this turnover going to upset me? D'Entremont rolls out to his right, buys himself some time looking for Brown.
Well,
and he has it. A bullet.
Bryce Smith thought he was in that passing lane and was thinking about a pick six himself. He found that D'Entremont. Talk about having another gear. Can you have another gear on your arm? Because I think D'Entremont just went to the,
I think
to the extra fastball.
I think he did. Still 32 seconds remaining now. Reception by Browns does stop the clock. They move the chains. Up at the 37. D'Entremont under pressure, looking for a man, has one near side, and that's Luke Pastel.
Liam Colbert able to push him out of bounds. Right there, Colbert pushes him out of bounds, but of course that stops the clock. But I think Colbert in that situation just has to pretty much take his man down if he can, anyway.
And Jeff, I'm going to put you on the spotlight here, buddy. Who do you got for player of the game? I got mine in hand.
Offensive and defensive?
No, just player of the game in general.
Well, I'd like to say Derek Taylor, and that was the play of the game, but I'm going to give it to Skylar Howard. I thought he was outstanding. Managing the game, a lot of great throws.
I am with you. He managed the game fantastic, made throws when he needed to make them, put his team in a position to win, and has put his team in the SCFA championship game. Of course, it's a team effort, but Skylar Howard, player of the game tonight,
And don't
for
forget
the
Kenny
Tigers.
Horn.
Absolutely.
Nice job offensively as well. Kenny Horn scored 2 touchdowns tonight?
I want to say you're right. D'Entremont again. He's going to go down.
Jeremiah Mitchell finishing it off in all likelihood. We'll see if the Rustlers can run one more play, but they may not even choose to do that under 10 seconds.
Well, there's really not really much of a sense of urgency here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are down to 2 in the SCFA. The Tigers and Fullerton next week will go at it to see who goes up to state. Take a short break here, try to get some stats for you, wrap it up with a brief post-game show. SoCalCollegeSports.com's coverage of SCFA playoff coverage continues.
SCFA football on SoCalCollegeSports.com is proudly brought to you by Robert Howard, Deidre Kelly and family, Yarborough family. Also sponsored by ListYourHouseForLess.com.